Hey guys, thanks for kicking it with me today. What we're going to do today is here on the property, we've got a whole bunch of rocks, like these decorative rocks that are behind me for building decorative rock walls. I got a whole bunch down here that are in the way of this flat area right over here that I'm going to be putting out some artificial grass or smoothing it out, and they're in the way, so we got to move those just off to the side. So simple project today, but it is what it is. We're just going to move some rocks. So thanks for joining me. Let's get to it. Okay, let me show you what we got here. We got this pile of rocks all out here that are just in the way of this big flat area that I've got, and I need to just gather them up and we'll stick them over here, kind of like I've started this pile right here, just kind of going along here. I'm going to just put them all along the front right here. No particular reason I'm going to be using them, going to be moving them again, but we'll stick them along here, be moving some of this stuff out of the way right here. We'll get this gone. And I'll just pile these up along the edge here so that out in this area, I can roll out some nice artificial grass. All right, hope you enjoy. Let's get to it. Alright, so working on a tractor like this, moving rocks, I've been doing it for several years. I wouldn't consider myself an expert, but better than average, I would say. It's basically, for me, quite relaxing because there's not really a whole lot to think about except just placing the rocks. It's kind of like playing a big game of Tetris when you're actually stacking them. Right now I'm I'm not stacking the rocks, I'm just moving them out of the way. So I kind of am stacking them on the other side, but not with any purpose. Just picking them up and moving them. Now I've said in another video, I did have a different tractor, Mini X. It was a Komatsu, and it was a great little tractor. In fact, this movement right here where I move the bucket out like that, I don't like the Kubota as much. It stops right there. The Komatsu actually had a better extension out, so it was a little bit better in that aspect. This one's more powerful, but it is a bigger machine, so that's expected. But basically, the biggest improvement I had by going with this Kubota, and it's nothing specific to Kubota, it just happens to be what I have, is the thumb trigger. To be able to run this thumb mechanism, it makes it quite a bit easier to control things as I'm going around. I gotta pay attention here, versus having to control the thumb with your foot. My foot sometimes just, I'd forget about it and I'd be pushing on the lever when I didn't need to be pushing on it. But on this one, I seem to have quite a bit more control when you're using your fingers to do the moving. And you can see it's quite smooth on how you can get them out of here and just move them. And these are just about the right size. I would consider them 1s and 2s probably, maybe some 3s in here, size rocks. When you get up into the 4 size, they get to be a little large, too large for this machine. I mean, it'll do it, but I don't like doing it because you can't hang on to it. You keep dropping the rocks. But these rocks have been moved quite a bit. They're actually rocks that I used on a job. I did an install for some great neighbors, and they were out of a new quarry and they started splitting and breaking up and falling apart. So I was able to keep the rocks as part of the removal and had to rebuild that whole wall, and it's been several years now and they still are breaking and falling apart. But for me and my uses, that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm not using the ones that are breaking apart so much. And like I said earlier, eventually you can see right down there where it's pointing right now, right down there, that wall I've been building. I still need to go a little further, but not right now. Right now I've got to get them just move them out of this area. They've been sitting here for probably 2 years, and it's time to work on this spot, so I got to move them out of the way. As you pick things up, if you want to set it down a specific way, I mean, if it's right flat like this rock is, then you can set it down right flat, and it doesn't matter if you open the bucket first or the thumb, it'll set down. But if you have something that's tipped up like this, let me show you. If you have something like this and you want to set it down a specific way, then you have to decide how you're going to let go. Right here, if I let go of the thumb first, it's going to drop it like this, and then I can lift it and then open up the bucket and it'll stand it right up. If you do it the opposite direction, sometimes it'll fall the way you don't want it to fall. So you have to just think which side you're going to let go first, and then the one you decide you're not letting go is kind of something that'll hold it for you. So let's set this one here. I don't want to hit this fence. But on this one, I want to lay it down right here. So since I want to lay it down, instead of stand it up, I'll open the bucket first. And see that bucket opens up and it lays this rock down right where I want it. And I haven't done anything with the thumb. Have a controlled fall, just kind of hang on to it a little bit as you do it. And sometimes you drop it too. That's just part of the game. So you want to, that's why you need to be extra careful if anybody's even close by or there's objects around that you just don't want it to fall into, because that could be devastating. You hit something or somebody with a careless rock. All right, let me give you a little bit more time lapse to finish up this pile. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for kicking it with me today. We got the pile moved. We just put it around the parameter here. So now this area just needs, there's a lot of little rocks and things that are all broken up and smashed and just crumbled from the years of these rocks kind of crumbling. That's why they've been sitting here just kind of curing. Anyway, we got to do a lot of handwork cleanup right here, but basically I just wanted to show you the moving of the rocks and kind of how that's done using the thumb and the bucket and placing them over there. So anyway, thanks for kicking it with me today. It's a fun little project. Eventually we'll start placing these over here and I'll bring you along on the journey as we place these rocks in the hill over here. So anyway, hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks for liking and subscribing on the channel, and we'll catch you on the next one.